The biggest economic dispute in Silvercrest has concluded today. Next, an exclusive interview with Damien Hawthorne, lead attorney at Harbinger & Associates. On the television, the breaking headline looped endlessly, a project worth hundreds of millions gripping the public by the throat. People saw only the dazzling outcome. They had no idea how much Damien Hawthorne and I had sacrificed for this case. Organizing files, gathering evidence. For an entire month, I hadn't slept a single restful night. But it was worth it. I helped Damien win, though his expression remained as impassive as ever. I knew he was genuinely happy lately. I had also seen the diamond ring Damien purchased. He hadn't told me about it. After 3 years of a secret marriage, I had secretly anticipated this moment for far too long. All I waited for was Damien to propose openly and make our relationship public. At the thought, the flush on my cheeks deepened. I glanced outside. It was very late, yet Damien still hadn't come home. Suddenly, the screech of brakes shattered the silence. I tossed the remote aside in a panic and rushed outside, where the debonair man, briefcase in hand, strode toward me. The night cascaded around him, draping Damien Hawthorne in a mantle of pale gold. "You're back." Smiling, I reached to take the briefcase from Damien, but this time was different. He merely cast me an indifferent glance before striding straight inside. My hand froze midair. I forced the corners of my mouth up, withdrew my arm, and hurried after him. "Darling, you must be exhausted and starving after such a long day. Let's eat." The table was laden with an elaborate dinner, its aroma filling the air, yet Damien didn't spare it a single look. He simply crooked his lips in a faint smirk and gestured for me to come closer.
"Get some rest early tonight. Tomorrow, you'll leave here."
Delight surged through me, and my eyes crinkled with joy. "Leave for where?" Damien watched my glistening eyes, a flicker of puzzlement crossing his features, though his gaze remained a steady and cold detachment.
"The courthouse. Divorce. Leave means don't come back. Serafina, we're finished."
Divorce? Finished? But I had clearly seen the ring Damien bought. The brutal whiplash of hope left me reeling. I couldn't grasp what Damien meant.
"Evangeline has returned. I owe her an explanation."
Owe her an explanation? And what about me? What am I?
"Nothing. You knew from the start, when you married me, that I was always meant to marry Evangeline."
Nothing? Those words sawed at my flesh like a blunt blade, back and forth, not fatal, yet enough to make death seem merciful. I don't agree.
"Serafina, I'm not consulting you. I'm notifying you."
With that, he sank onto the sofa, toying with a designer lighter, while I stood there, my mind a blank slate. "So, the diamond ring you bought was for her?"
"Yes, I'm going to marry Evangeline."
At his words, every trace of color drained from my face. I was discarded, like worthless trash. Damien Hawthorne. Don't forget, divorce has a mandatory cooling-off period. You can't just throw me out like this.
"That's why I said to do it quickly. I don't want Evangeline to see you. It would upset her."
Serafina, wounded blow after blow, could barely breathe through the pain, yet she still clung to a stubborn shred of hope. "And, what if I simply refuse to divorce you?"
"As my paralegal, you should understand this well. The law binds obligations, not emotions. Serafina Cross, don't resort to desperate, clinging theatrics. Don't make me lose all respect for you."
Damien slapped the lighter he had been toying with onto the table, his eyes frigid.
"If you truly wish to drag this out with me, you're welcome to try. The divorce cases I've won aren't few."
Serafina stood frozen. "Damien, I'm your paralegal, but I'm also your wife. I helped you with your work. I took care of your life. I gave you every single moment of my time. Do I truly hold no place in your heart at all?" One by one, Damien pried her fingers loose.
"You volunteered for all of this. Serafina, I never once asked you to do anything."
The heavy slam of the door echoed soon after. He was gone again. Serafina closed her eyes and collapsed onto the sofa. In the end, these 3 years had amounted to nothing. She placed her copy of the key on the table. No words could change anything now.
"Today, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce my girlfriend, Evangeline Cross."
More than just a girlfriend, actually. Very soon, I'll be Mrs. Hawthorne.
Evangeline raised her hand, flashing the diamond ring, dazzling and brilliant. Even though she had known beforehand, her heart still sank like a stone, flooded with scalding bitterness.
Also, from now on, I'll be Damien's new assistant. No need to trouble the previous assistant anymore.
Serafina felt as though she had been stripped bare and paraded on a butcher's block for public display. The stares scalded her, flaying her heart and lungs. Damien Hawthorne had abandoned her in front of everyone, turning her very existence into a cruel joke. Serafina's gaze cut through the crowd toward Damien, desperate for an explanation. Yet the moment her eyes met his glacial indifference pierced straight through her. He wouldn't spare her even a single word. Serafina swayed on her feet, her face as pale as parchment. But she had to hold herself together. She still had a future in the legal world to protect. She couldn't burn bridges with Damien and Evangeline. She couldn't allow herself to truly become a spectacle. I welcome our new colleague to the Harbinger team. I'll complete the handover of all Mr. Hawthorne's case files as quickly as possible. I hope we have the chance to collaborate again in the future. Serafina delivered her dignified statement, nodded politely to the assembly, then turned and walked away. The short steps, barely a dozen meters, drained half the life force from her body. The moment Evangeline returned, she reclaimed Damien, and now she was seizing her career as well. From this moment on, Damien Hawthorne and she were nothing to each other. The crowd, unconcerned with Serafina's lonely departure, swarmed around Damien and Evangeline, showering them with congratulations and beaming smiles. In a corner of the ballroom, Serafina bore the crushing weight of her agony and resentment alone. She poured herself a full glass of red wine. She drained it. Then another. She lost count of how many glasses she consumed until her head swam with dizziness. Only this way could she forget the brutal reality that Damien had discarded her. She filled the glass again and was about to tip it down her throat. Suddenly, the glass was plucked from her hand. A large, warm palm pulled her upright.
That's enough. Are you trying to drink yourself to death?
Then she was swept up into someone's arms. Her full weight sagged against him. In her dazed, blurred state, Serafina thought she glimpsed Damien, but that was impossible. His eyes held only Evangeline now. How could he possibly care about her? Damien. Damien. She murmured the name. Once. Again. Damien. Why are you so heartless? Why did you take even the chance to be by your side at work? The man holding her remained utterly silent, not uttering a single word. An unknowable stretch of time passed before Serafina drifted back to consciousness. Her first instinct was to bolt upright and get out of bed. I have to make breakfast. Quickly. Damien, consumed by his work, always neglected his health. He had a gastric condition and couldn't afford to miss meals. Then she remembered. She and Damien were over. There was no need to rush to prepare meals anymore.
Serafina, you're awake.
She saw a man knock and step inside, confusion flooding her features. Lennox? Lennox Ashford was Harbinger's other star litigator. Why are you here? Where is this place?
This is the firm's residential suite. You were completely wasted at the banquet. Rest here for a bit.
A void opened in Serafina's chest. As she had suspected, it was a dream. The man who had so tenderly lifted her in her drunken stupor. How could it possibly have been Damien? Lennox smiled.
Damien is blind to toss you aside for Evangeline. From now on, you'll work with me. Rest assured, I'm nothing like Damien. I'll give you real opportunities to argue in court. You have talent, Serafina. You shouldn't let that man bury it.
Serafina rubbed her temples. Thank you. I'll consider it. Lennox flashed her a grin and said nothing more to persuade her, but his gaze held an unmistakable sense of determination. Serafina's packing still wasn't finished. She had no choice but to take a taxi back. Her phone had died. She rummaged through every pocket of her bag for loose change before she could finally pay the fare. When she pushed open the door, before she could even reach for the light switch, a figure in the darkness pulled her against a broad, firm chest. A familiar scent, cool and crisp, enveloped her. It was Damien. Serafina's heart lurched. But the image of Damien holding Evangeline surfaced instantly, icing over the brief warmth. She twisted away, resisting his proximity, and shoved at him on instinct. "Don't touch me!" Damien released her, his face darkening at a visible, frightening speed.
I called you. Why didn't you answer? And why are you coming home so late?
"Weren't you the one who told me to leave?" Serafina was bone-weary. Damien narrowed his eyes, a dangerous glint refracting in his striking irises.
The divorce certificate hasn't been signed. The handover hasn't been completed. You are still my wife and my paralegal. When I need you, you must be available.
He seized her chin, brooking no resistance. You jerk.
Let me make this clear, Serafina Cross. Don't you dare do anything disgraceful behind my back that would tarnish the firm's reputation.
His insinuation was unmistakable. Ice flooded her veins. "And what about you and Evangeline? We're not even divorced yet, and you couldn't wait to be with her. Isn't that disgraceful?" Damien's expression turned glacial.
You don't have the right to speak of Evangeline. If you hadn't interfered, she would never have left me in the first place.
Serafina's complexion went corpse white as she froze in place. So this was what Damien had thought of her all along.
I don't want to hear a single word spoken against Evangeline anywhere.
Bang! Damien slammed the door behind him as he left. Serafina crumpled to the floor. She sat there, staring blankly at the ceiling. For the first time, the thought of giving Damien up sprouted roots in her heart. As always, Serafina clocked in and made her way to the office 15 minutes before the workday officially began. She took a steadying breath and walked into her office with her head held high. But the moment she stepped inside, she saw that her desk, the one that had belonged to her, was now completely bare. Beside it, a cardboard box held a chaotic jumble of her case files. Through the window, she could see Evangeline carrying a cup of coffee to Damien's hand, a gentle, adoring smile painted across her face. He accepted the cup with a doting expression and drank directly from it. Such forbearance had never belonged to her.
Miss Cross, where do you think you're going?
I came to pack my things. Now I see someone's already done it for me. I assume I'm free to go.
Serafina, I heard Mr. Ashford applied to have you transferred as his assistant, so I took the liberty of helping you pack in advance, to make it easier for you to move into the office next door.
I appreciate the gesture, but please, next time, don't make decisions on my behalf. I prefer to handle my own things. There was no need to go to such trouble.
So you had already lined up your next position, Miss Cross? Clearly, I never understood you at all.
We're still under the same firm's roof. I wouldn't call it a next position. Mr. Hawthorne, you don't want me, but I can't exactly hold a death vigil, can I? I had to find another lawyer to work with. Damien's face darkened entirely, but Serafina didn't spare him another glance. As soon as she finished speaking, she strode away, the weight of a stare pressing against her back.
So the act drops now. Sharp-tongued and shrewish, aren't you?
Serafina's steps faltered, a lance of pain stabbing through her chest. She had never been acting. Serafina arrived at Lennox Ashford's office to report in. She steadied her nerves, booted up her computer, and started reviewing the files. Whether by design or coincidence, the very first case Lennox handed her was a divorce proceeding. Serafina felt as though she were reading the story of herself and Damien.
Serafina, what are you spacing out for? Get those documents organized. We need to win this case with style!
Watching her transformation, Lennox smiled. Something stirred in his chest, and he reached out, gently ruffling her hair. But neither of them knew that this very scene was being witnessed through the window. Damien watched in frigid silence for a moment before turning on his heel. The workday ended. Serafina gathered her laptop, but as soon as she stepped out, she spotted a tall, coldly handsome silhouette. Damien.
Miss Cross, you've joined Lennox Ashford's team, and now you won't even offer a greeting?
Mr. Ashford conducts his work with the utmost professionalism. And my affairs are no longer your concern, Mr. Hawthorne. Seizing the interruption, Serafina hurried away. She flagged down a taxi and scrambled inside without a backward glance. Damien watched her leave without the slightest hesitation, his face a mask of dark fury. The Cross Mansion. The instant Serafina stepped through the door, the suffocating stench of alcohol assaulted her senses. Before she could even steady herself, a shot glass hurtled through the air and struck her squarely on the head. Dizzy and disoriented, she grabbed the doorframe to keep from collapsing.
Serafina, you unfilial wretch. You haven't shown your face for days. Where the hell have you been fooling around?
Working, obviously. Dad, can you please stop drinking so much?
Well, look at you, Serafina. Got some nerve? Lecturing your own father now? You got your mother ruined. You trying to kill me next?
How Mom died, you know the truth better than anyone. Dad!
You're damn right I know. It was you curse. You jinx. If you hadn't studied all that law nonsense and egged your mother on to divorce me, she wouldn't have been rushing out that day. She wouldn't have been hit by that car. You are the sinner of this family. Now get on your knees and repent.
Serafina had no words left for him, but when her eyes fell on her mother's memorial shrine, she walked over and knelt before it, touching her head to the floor. The photograph, gray and faded, captured her mother's perpetually sorrowful face. It seemed to Serafina that her mother had never truly smiled. Tobias loomed over her as she knelt, a glass of liquor in one hand and his belt in the other, glaring down with a hatred that seemed to deepen.
Daddy, I came to visit you and Mom. I even brought your favorite bourbon.
Evangeline, there's my good filial girl. Thank God you're back. Otherwise, this jinx would be the death of me.
Dad, you have hypertension, high blood sugar, and high cholesterol. If you keep drinking, you'll have a stroke.
Shut your mouth. You can't even compare to 1/10 of Evangeline. No wonder you could only pick up a husband that she threw away.
Daddy, who said I threw him away? Damien and I are back together now. Serafina, I was gone for 3 years, and you haven't changed one bit. Still just as useless. What's mine is mine. You took it, but you'll give it back.
I already agreed to the divorce. Since he wants to be with you, I won't cling to him. I haven't sunk that low.
You agreed? Then why hasn't Damien?
Evangeline caught herself just in time and didn't finish the thought.
Then swear on Mom. Swear you will never be with Damien again.
Evangeline, don't push too far.
Huh. Looks like you still can't let him go in your heart. Serafina Cross, you stay the hell away from him. He belongs to me.
Evangeline's tactics, Serafina knew them well. All of them petty, underhanded schemes. Yet she had never imagined Evangeline would stoop to this. She had underestimated the depths of Evangeline's petty vindictiveness. Every case Serafina had previously closed began to stir with renewed trouble. Evangeline pulled strings behind the scenes, fanning flames and inciting those former clients to storm the firm and harass her. In just a few short days, her professional reputation at the firm plummeted. If Lennox hadn't shielded her fiercely, she would have faced a pay cut and formal reprimand by now. That day, the defendant from an economic dispute case came to see her. Serafina had no choice but to meet him. Hello, I'm Serafina Cross, the paralegal who handled your case. Mr. Hawthorne represented you at trial. You won the first instance and were awarded compensation. May I ask what the issue is? The man facing her was named Leo Lambert. Rough-featured and menacing.
Miss Cross, the case isn't even truly won, and you people just washed your hands of it. The appeal hearing is right around the corner, and you're just going to sit there and let them flip the verdict? You pocket some kickback in the middle of this?
According to the testimony you initially provided, a substantial compensation claim was indeed possible. However, our investigation later revealed falsehoods within that testimony. Because you committed perjury, the facts of the case were compromised. Securing even that outcome was difficult. We secured the maximum we possibly could for you.
I don't care. I was supposed to get way more. I heard I could have gotten 10 million. You owe me that money. And with the case in this mess now, you need to compensate me for emotional distress too.
Leo slammed the table, his thuggish nature surfacing. A chill crept through Serafina. May I ask, from whom did you hear you could receive that much? He deflected with vague mumbling, refusing to answer. He was beyond reason now. Logic was useless. Leo was tall, hulking, thick-necked, and round-bellied, pure brute menace when angered. Serafina's eyelid twitched violently. She didn't dare provoke him further. Just as they were at a complete impasse, a male voice cut in. Serafina turned and saw Lennox. Unable to find her, he had tracked her down. At the sight of Lennox, Leo reined himself in barely. Lennox diffused the man and sent him away before turning to Serafina. Serafina nodded gravely. Lennox sighed.
Serafina, you're too devoted. Not only is this case completely closed, meaning you have no obligation to even deal with it, but it's also Damien's case, and you're no longer his assistant. You could have easily deflected this straight to him.
Serafina couldn't find a rebuttal. She truly had no need to keep cleaning up Damien's messes, yet this case clearly wasn't over.
If you're too embarrassed to say it yourself, I'll tell Damien for you. He needs to stop shoving these problems over here. His assistant now is Evangeline Cross, not you.
Serafina's heart trembled at this, a nameless emotion surging through her. In truth, she had already pieced it together more or less. This couldn't have happened without Evangeline scheming, digging up old problematic cases and shoving them onto her plate. But could Evangeline have pulled off this much without Damien's tacit consent? Mulling over these tangled thoughts, Serafina worked late into the night before finally leaving the firm. The moment she stepped outside, a rough sack dropped over her head. In the span of a blink, everything went black. Silvercrest River Bridge. The night wind cut bitterly cold. It was past midnight, and the bridge was practically deserted. Serafina's hands and feet were bound. She was suspended from the inner railing of the bridge. Leo pulled out his phone and dialed Damien. No answer. His eyes fell on Serafina's pocket. He fished out her phone and pulled up Damien's contact.
Serafina, it's this late. Not calling your precious Lennox? What do you want with me?
Damien, I've been abducted. MPH.
Damien Hawthorne, this is Leo Lambert. If you don't give me a satisfactory answer, I'll make sure she dies right now.
You've misunderstood. Serafina Cross is no longer my assistant.
In that moment, Serafina's heart plummeted into a bottomless abyss.
I don't care. If you don't wire me the money, I'll end this woman right here. You've got 3 minutes.
All you have to do is report that she tampered with the process, and you can petition for a retrial.
Was he seriously trying to pin the blame on her? He knew perfectly well this would destroy her.
You sharp types always have a way with words. You want to live? Then do exactly as you're told.
Enough! You just want to sacrifice me to protect yourself and Evangeline. I won't do it. I will never do it. Goodbye, Mr. Hawthorne, my love, my resentment. Goodbye to all of it.
Serafina. No. Serafina Cross.
Below, the water's surface churned and heaved, but Serafina was nowhere to be seen. Damien lunged forward, landing a brutal punch that flattened Leo before charging toward the bridge railing.
Serafina. Serafina Cross.
He had called the police the instant he received the call. He had stalled for time, kept the abductor talking, tracked the location while racing over. And still he had been a heartbeat too late. Why? Why hadn't Serafina trusted him just a little more? Without a shred of hesitation, Damien swung himself over the railing, ready to dive.
Mr. Hawthorne, don't! We already have a rescue team in the water.
Damien Hawthorne, you tricked me. You said she was just your former assistant.
Agony detonated inside Damien's chest. Yes, he had pushed her away with his own hands. He had dismantled their trust, piece by piece.
She is not just my assistant. She is my wife.
Truth was, her quietly devoted silhouette had long since rooted itself in his heart. Serafina had become an inseparable part of his very existence.
Serafina, how could you be such a fool?
Leo was taken into custody, but Damien remained at the railing, staring down at the surging, merciless river. His brow was locked in a furrow of fathomless grief and despair. It was his fault. All his fault. He should have explained everything to her beforehand. The night was ink black, and Damien, aboard his private yacht, roamed back and forth across the river's surface, refusing to stop. Damien stared down into the water with bloodshot eyes. He strapped on diving equipment with swift, mechanical movements and plunged into the raging river. The next morning, every major media outlet had splashed Damien Hawthorne and Serafina Cross across the front pages. Outside, Harbinger and Associates reporters swarmed in a near impenetrable mob. Lennox arrived to this chaos. Lennox drove his fist into the desk, veins bulging on his forehead in pure volcanic fury.
Karma. Do foul deeds, and sooner or later, you pay. Evangeline, this is perfect. No one left to stand in your way.
Daddy, what do you think it was like for her at the very end? Do you suppose, when they finally drag her out, there'll be nothing left but a skeleton?
Evangeline dropped all pretense, an insidiously triumphant smile spreading across her face. But what she failed to notice was the person behind her who had just recorded their entire conversation. The search and recovery efforts continued for 3 full days. In the end, nothing was found. At the river's easternmost section, where the current slowed, a massive iron barrier net spanned the width of the water. Each mesh opening measured less than 5 centimeters across and extended from the surface to the riverbed. If someone fell in, this was where you searched. But here, Damien found only a few tattered scraps of the clothing Serafina had been wearing when she fell. No body. Stretching for nearly 50 kilometers, the river harbored unpredictable hidden whirlpools. It was possible, horrifyingly possible, that the violent force of a vortex had driven a body deep into the riverbed silt. If that were the case, recovery would be impossible. The evidence now pointed to 2 potential fates. Either she'd been sucked into the mud by a whirlpool, or Damien sat on the riverbank, soaked to the bone, utterly drained of strength, staring at the shifting, shimmering light on the water. He still couldn't accept it. No body meant she was still alive. He clung to that mantra, repeating it over and over, until he finally realized it was nothing more than a hollow lie he told himself to survive.
Serafina Cross is dead. She died because of me.
Damien Hawthorne, you really have a gift for throwing others to the wolves. A grown man, using a woman as your stepping stone. Real impressive.
I just needed her to wait. Wait until I could resolve.
Executioner.
In the cramped, stifling private room, the heavy stench of alcohol hung thick in the air. Damien remained motionless. Despair. Desolation. She must have hated him with every fiber of her being, must have abandoned all hope. When Evangeline finally tracked him down, Damien had long since passed the point of being able to drink anymore.
Serafina, you didn't leave. You're still alive. Thank God. I was wrong. It was all my fault.
Damien, I didn't die.
But in the next heartbeat, Damien's hand clamped around her throat. Her head was forced back.
Damien, what are you doing? Look at me. It's me, Serafina.
Damien looked fully prepared to end her life. Serafina had always carried a faint scent of mint, but this woman smelled of cloying perfume. Evangeline felt herself suffocating. She flailed weakly, then collapsed unconscious to the floor.
Damien, it's me, Evangeline.
Coughing and heaving, she dragged air back into her lungs, clinging to her rescued life. Damien, meanwhile, had already passed out cold. A virulent hatred bloomed and spread wildly through Evangeline's chest. She scrambled to her feet and stumbled, staggering out of the room. Serafina Cross had perished in the pursuit of legal justice. Across the legal community and the internet, she was initially mourned and praised for her integrity. But overnight, the narrative lurched violently. Every major media platform ran the same new angle. In his office, Damien sat before his computer, his long, well-defined fingers flying across the keyboard. He slammed the keyboard and slumped back in his chair, exhausted. When he looked up, he saw clusters of staff gathered in groups, murmuring. But as his gaze dropped, he caught sight of something that made his blood run cold. Someone was tearing down the poster on the wall. It was the recognition poster the firm had created for Serafina. Damien slammed his hand on the desk and strode swiftly out of his office.
Mr. Hawthorne, Miss Cross committed a serious violation of professional ethics. She got what she deserved.
Enough. You are lawyers. Do you not understand that malicious defamation is a crime? You'd condemn a person based on unverified online rumors?
Then, with deliberate care, he gathered the torn fragments of Serafina's poster as if collecting precious relics. He placed the pieces in a drawer, resolving to restore it when he had time. The articles featured photos and video clips secretly filmed footage of Serafina speaking with Leo Lambert. A dangerous glint entered Damien's eyes. The culprit behind this would not be spared. Damien snatched his jacket and strode swiftly out the door. It was time to make those responsible pay a devastating price. Damien was suspended from duty without pay for 6 months disciplinary action for physically assaulting a journalist. He was also ordered to pay a substantial settlement. None of that mattered. What mattered was that those slanderous, fabricated news articles were scrubbed from the internet. Serafina's innocence was preserved. As the investigation peeled back layer after layer, the source of the rumors was finally uncovered. Behind it all was someone hired by Evangeline Cross. Damien had suspected this outcome from the start. But this was not the moment to move against Evangeline. The timing wasn't right yet. Back at the villa, Damien stood in the living room. Every visible trace of Serafina had been erased, yet her shadow haunted every inch of that space. The sight flayed his heart open. 3 years ago, when Evangeline had fled the wedding, leaving him hollowed out and abandoned, Serafina had risen from the pews and spoken only 2 words. He was never a sentimental man. He could have endured the humiliation of being left at the altar. But in that moment, seeing the raw adoration in Serafina's eyes, the sheer, unguarded honesty, he had thought, perhaps he could simply build a life with this woman after all. He hadn't expected them to be so perfectly attuned. For 3 years, in work and in life, they had moved in flawless synchrony. Damien, I tried a new recipe today. Made a few trendy snacks. Taste them. Tell me if they're as good as everyone says. Can't find her? No, he truly couldn't find her. Damien grabbed his jacket, drove straight to that barbecue joint. Serafina had always loved the one he had always refused to go to. Health code concerns, chaotic atmosphere, unbearable smoke and booze. The owner hurried over, politeness and deference written across his face. Damien lowered himself onto a rickety, low stool, a wave of bitter, stinging regret flooding his eyes. What an absolute jerk he had been, never once coming here with her. In the darkness, a pair of eyes fixed on him. A sinister smile twisted at the corner of unseen lips, then vanished into the night. Damien's stomach had never felt so thoroughly, unexpectedly satisfied. He was halfway through his 5th bottle of beer when a commotion erupted at a table ahead. Lennox Ashford and Tobias Cross. Lennox didn't seem to notice him. He was desperately trying to convince Tobias of something.
Tobias waved a dismissive, impatient hand. You deaf boy? That wretched girl's been a curse on me since the day she was born. Just looking at her makes my blood boil. Why the hell would I keep her picture?
She was your daughter. For God's sake. She's gone now. The least you could do is stop speaking ill of her.
Tobias slammed his hand on the table.
The impact sent a bottle crashing to the ground, shattering with a sharp crack.
His temper had fully ignited. She's my blood, my property. I'll do and say whatever I damn well please. Who the hell are you to lecture me? Truth is, I burned every photo of her from when she was a kid. Every last one. She's dead. What's the point of keeping pictures? So I can give myself nightmares?
Lennox's fist pounded onto the table.
He had known Serafina was mistreated at home, but the reality was even more brutal than he had imagined. Tobias Cross was utterly unworthy of the title father, barely even worthy of being called human.
Tobias, utterly unfazed, continued drinking by himself and even started humming a jaunty little tune.
Lennox yearned to plant his fist in the man's face, knock some awareness into that pickled brain, but he knew it would be futile. A leopard never changed its spots. That was this man to his core. No photos. What now? Lennox had a few on his phone, but his phone was destroyed. The firm had removed all her materials. The original files couldn't even be located. Without a photo, Serafina's memorial would be. Frustration and grief churned inside him. Then he felt a scorching glare boring into him from above. He looked up and met a pair of deep, piercing eyes brimming with a fury that seemed ready to erupt. Damien Hawthorne? As Serafina's direct superior, Damien had to have her photos. Something clicked into place. Lennox forced down all the emotions seething inside him. He drew a long, steadying breath, stood up, and walked over to Damien's table.
You mind? Share a table?
Damien didn't answer.
His eyes remained locked onto Tobias's back with an intensity that could have burned a hole straight through.
Lennox let out a derisive snort of a laugh. He grabbed a beer bottle, cracked it open with a practice knock against the stool's edge, and tipped his head back, draining it in several long gulps. Then he got straight to the point. Damien Hawthorne, Serafina died because of you. For you. Don't you think you owe her something?
What do you mean?
Damien dragged his gaze away and fixed it coldly on Lennox. Was Lennox itching for another fight?
Lennox crossed his legs with a deliberately slouched, irreverent posture, lit a cigarette, and took a deep drag. He blew the smoke directly into Damien's face. His tone, mocking. Serafina's gone. Nothing left to bury. But you can't just let her drift out there forever. You're a top lawyer. Doing something for her isn't asking too much. At the very least, arrange a memorial, a cenotaph.
As those last words left his mouth, Lennox watched Damien's face drain to a ghastly ashen pallor. His eyes blazed with anger.
Lennox smiled without humor, the expression steeped in bitterness. That tortured look you're wearing now, who's it for? Buy a decent plot. It won't cost you more than a few $100,000. After everything she poured into you all these years, it's pocket change. If you don't want to spend the money, I'll cover it. Do you have a photo of her on your phone? Send it to me.
Why do you care about her this much?
The moment the question left his lips, he realized how unnecessary it was. Lennox's feelings for Serafina had been obvious to everyone at the firm. But Serafina had only ever had eyes for Damien, willfully blind to Lennox's devotion. Yet, even that hadn't stopped Lennox from caring for her steadfastly, unwaveringly, for years. Sometimes Damien wondered if Serafina had chosen Lennox instead, would her life have been different? Undoubtedly. At the very least, she wouldn't have met such a tragic end. A cenotaph. Those words alone were enough to slice his heart into bloody, unrecognizable shreds. Damien's appetite had vanished entirely. He grabbed his keys from the table and stood, preparing to leave, but Lennox seized him by the wrist.
Damien Hawthorne. Running away solves nothing. The photo. If you won't let her rest in peace, then I will, alright?
Let go. Serafina isn't dead. She's not dead. Fishermen must have rescued her.
Damien clung to the words with stubborn, irrational desperation. It happened all the time on television. The female lead plunges into rivers, seas, oceans, and never dies. She was a flower that hadn't yet fully bloomed.
Damien Hawthorne. Have you watched too many soap operas, or has your brain finally short-circuited?
I don't have one on my phone. If you need one, you can pull it from the firm's personnel files.
Two grown men fighting over a worn-out pair of shoes. Better off gone, sooner rather than later.
Damien's reach spanned both sides of the law. He walked to a nearby table, pulled a thick stack of bills from his wallet, and murmured a few words of instruction. Within moments, Tobias was sprawled on the ground, unable to rise. Lennox had already blocked him. Staring at the rejected message notification, Damien hurled his phone to the ground. Once his mind was made up, Damien abandoned his spiral of self-destruction. He owed Serafina this. He would repay it with his life. Acting as his own defense counsel, Damien swiftly gathered evidence and cleared himself of the assault charges. The circumstances were extenuating, the facts straightforward, and he was reinstated in record time. But Serafina was gone. Lennox had left. The firm itself had been dealt a devastating blow, hemorrhaging more than half its staff. Damien paid none of these peripheral matters any mind. He compiled materials from every conceivable source and devoted himself entirely to studying the fraud case against Amber Horizon Investments, a single corporate defendant facing 50 plaintiffs. The company's legal paperwork and public relations strategy had been crafted with airtight precision, leaving victims with no ground to even voice their grievances. It was the toughest nut to crack. By far. The case had gone to court 5 or 6 times already. Every single attempt had ended in failure. Lawyers who had previously taken it on had either vanished from the city, suffered physical harm, or had their families and children threatened. No one dared touch this live wire anymore, which only emboldened the company, making it bolder and more brazen in fleecing the public. The reason Serafina had been so fixated on this case was because she herself was one of those 50 victims. She had heard colleagues casually mention the firm back when it still maintained a facade of legitimacy. She had never imagined it was a wolf in sheep's clothing. After poring over every document, Damien set out to track people down. If he could find the critical witnesses, this case still had room to maneuver. An island, somewhere far away, Serafina lay motionless, her body wrapped in layers of gauze. She was still unconscious, the effects of general anesthesia from a major surgery still lingering. Lennox sat beside her, alternating between watching her face and flipping through a book, his nerves stretched taut. What worried him most was the doctor's warning she might suffer memory loss. Such a brilliant woman. What a tragedy it would be if she forgot everything that had happened. Serafina was a natural lawyer. Lennox folded the corner of the page he was on and set the book on the nightstand, Case Studies in Caring for Coma Patients. The fact that she had escaped a massive whirlpool and survived it all was already a miracle.
Sarah, it's me, Lennox. I'm right here waiting for you. Don't you love barbecue skewers? This place has the most breathtaking views, the most incredible grilled food, the richest draft beer. We'll drink together until we're senseless, okay? The man who hurt you was Damien Hawthorne. You have to wake up and make him pay. Make him taste the pain you've suffered.
3 years ago, when Damien had his wedding and Evangeline fled, Lennox had prepared a diamond ring. He had been planning to propose to Serafina. Who could have foreseen that Damien wouldn't even complete the wedding ceremony, giving Serafina nothing but a cold, clinical marriage certificate? Serafina felt as though she'd been trapped in an endless, lightless vortex for an eternity. She wanted out. She wanted to live. She tried desperately to grab hold of something, anything. But her grasping hands meant nothing, and she only sank deeper into the abyss. Terror, helplessness, desolation. Then a pressure closed around her hand, something warm, solid, holding on. She opened her eyes, but saw nothing but an unbroken darkness. Lennox's voice cracked with a wild, almost disbelieving joy. He clutched her hand, momentarily forgetting what to do, before finally jamming the call button.
The situation is quite optimistic. However, during the reconstructive process, there was an unavoidable complication. Her appearance has changed somewhat. The ultimate outcome is positive. 1 more week of recovery, and we can remove the bandages.
He had procured the photos, but during the surgery, he had instructed the surgeons to discard the original reference images and use a different set, because he had a selfish motive. He didn't want Damien to ever find Serafina. He wanted to build a quiet life with her here, on this remote, isolated, peaceful island. 1 week later, all the bandages wrapping Serafina's body were removed. Dr. Mercer's surgical skill was, without question, immaculate. The result could only be described as flawless. Setting aside the injury to Serafina's lower back where skin grafts had been harvested and transplanted, leaving inevitable traces no matter how skilled the hand, her face was pristine.
Sarah, how do you feel? Any discomfort anywhere? What do you want to eat? Drink.
Serafina stared at him, bewildered. She tilted her head, pointing at him. The roses nearly slipped from Lennox's grasp. Serafina, with her newly altered face, had truly lost her memory. She had forgotten everything. The doctor had explained that a small blood clot remained in her brain, pressing against a nerve. It needed to be absorbed naturally by her body. A decade. Maybe longer. Lennox was resolved. A decade longer, it didn't matter. Without her memories, Serafina could come to accept him in far less time. Morning. A gentle breeze stirred the air. In the garden of the high-end sanatorium, a few elderly residents sat soaking in the sun, gazing out at the distant sea, lost in their own silent thoughts. One of the elderly women noticed Serafina was awake and called out with a smile. Lennox beamed and nodded. He basked in the glow of those words, your wife. Awake at last, after everything you went through. If your wife only knew. Lennox made a subtle, hushing gesture and wheeled Serafina toward the back garden. Lennox, what was she talking about? Are you hiding something from me? Lennox found a shady spot and settled onto a bench, looking at the luminous woman before him. Serafina nodded, only half convinced, but she couldn't remember a single detail of what had happened before. Anytime she tried, a sharp, punishing pain lanced through her skull. The courtyard was like a rustic farmstead, fruit trees, vegetable patches, even a few penned chickens and ducks. Gazing into the distance, Serafina spotted a few white eggs dotting an open patch of grass. Her eyes brightened. She pointed excitedly. Lennox pinched the bridge of his nose, speechless. Serafina licked her lips. When Lennox didn't move, she started turning the wheels of her chair herself, heading toward the eggs. Seeing she was dead serious, Lennox lunged forward and grabbed the handles of her wheelchair. Serafina gave a breezy smile. Wind brushed her cheeks, sending stray strands of hair dancing, a living painting. Lennox found himself momentarily transfixed. I remember eating them like this before. I just don't know why. She opened her eyes and stared ahead, a trace of melancholy in her gaze. What exactly had she forgotten? Just as Lennox had pointed out, how could she have forgotten that eggs needed to be cooked before eating? What Serafina was unconsciously accessing was a buried childhood memory. Whenever she made a mistake, her father, Tobias, would fly into a rage and shove a raw egg straight into her mouth. She would gag and retch in misery. But instead of softening his heart, her suffering only seemed to give him a new, efficient method of punishment. Whenever Serafina didn't obey him, Tobias would use this trick. Just one trick, but it never failed. Over time, Serafina's body gradually adapted to the taste of raw eggs until she no longer found them repulsive. When Tobias realized it no longer tormented her, he moved on to other cruelties. And so, deep in Serafina's subconscious, the belief had lodged itself. Raw eggs were edible, even delicious.
Sarah, what are you thinking about?
Lennox, I can't remember anything. There are flowers over there. Let's go look at them.
Right away.
Relief washed through Lennox. One day, he would carve out a place in her heart. By day, Damien functioned like a wound-up machine, his mind crammed so full of casework that the pain was temporarily held at bay. Night, however, was when the hollow, bone-deep emptiness took hold. They had found the clothes Serafina had worn that day. The garments were shredded and scattered. At the thought, a nameless, unbearable agony seized Damien. He wanted to jump in himself to be with her. At his word, Evangeline stepped in, wearing a blue dress. In her eyes, a carefully concocted blend of pitifulness and longing.
What do you want?
Evangeline was wearing Serafina's favorite dress. Around her neck hung the Deer of Evermore pendant. Everything, every detail was a meticulous imitation.
Damien, my father was attacked. One of his legs. It's crippled. I want you to represent my father.
Your objective.
I want them locked up. And I want financial compensation. 500,000.
I'll give you 1 million. You drop the charges. I was the one who ordered the beating. Any other questions?
At those words, every drop of color drained from Evangeline's face. She stood there, petrified, words failing her completely. She had checked the security footage from the barbecue joint's owner. The figures in the video were blurry, just a chaotic, violent blur. But she had never imagined that the familiar silhouette she couldn't quite place was actually Damien.
Why?
The way she looked at Damien now was layered with complexity. No matter what, that was her father. Damien couldn't not know that. And he was also Serafina's father.
Because his noise disgusted me. Because of his cruelty. I was merely protesting the injustice done to Serafina.
Damien's words were clipped, blunt.
Damien Hawthorne, do you even know the full story behind any of this? Before you jump to your self-righteous conclusions, Serafina tore this family apart. The way she's been treated is already far better than she deserves. What more do you want? And besides, she's already Damien, I love you so much. Let's get married. Let's build a life together, please. With time, the past will fade. We were so deeply in love once we can be again. Damien, please?
Evangeline's pleas grew desperate. She even crouched down, reaching out, trying to touch his hand.
Her name is still on my marriage certificate. There is no we. Leave. Now. I want to be alone.
Damien, you promised before, no matter when I came back. You said you would wait for me.
Evangeline's eyes glistened with crocodile tears. At her words, Damien's entire demeanor shifted. Even the alcohol lost its appeal. He grabbed his jacket and strode toward the door.
Damien, don't go. I was wrong. I shouldn't have been so petty and left you back then. I'll never do it again. Please, forgive me. Let's start over.
Damien pried her arms off and pushed through the door, disappearing into the night. He didn't shut the door completely, because only by leaving that sliver of false hope open would Evangeline's hatred for him intensify. The sky, clear and bright all day, had suddenly turned dark and threatening. A thought struck Damien. He rushed to his car and sped toward the cemetery. Serafina was terrified of thunder and lightning, of violent wind and pelting rain. Now she was out there alone, in the cold, dark earth. She had to be lonely, frightened, freezing.
Serafina, are you here? All these days, my longing for you has raged like wildfire. It's burning me alive. I miss you. I miss you so much. Please, come back.
Moments later, the storm broke loose, rain hammering down in violent sheets. Within moments, he was soaked through. He let the rain stream down his face. He wished it would fall harder, harder still. Let it wash away his sins. When the rain finally stopped, Damien forced himself upright on unsteady, trembling legs and walked slowly back to his car. His head pounded with a splitting, unbearable ache. Desperate for some relief, he turned on the car radio. A cheerful melody flowed out. Damien closed his eyes and listened, allowing himself a quiet, still moment.
The song ended, and the smooth, melodic voice of the radio host emerged. Man's life between heaven and earth is like a traveler pausing briefly on a long journey. Have you ever felt this way? Under what circumstances?
Damien reached to turn the radio off. He despised these saccharine, pseudo-philosophical platitudes. He was about to shut it off, but before his hand could reach the dial, a fragile, sobbing woman's voice came through. Damien's hand stopped midair. Because this voice, it sounded faintly like the lost, broken tone Serafina had once used. He told himself he would only listen for a moment, just to hear her voice, then he'd turn it off. Damien lowered his eyes. Rainwater dripped from his hair onto the center of the steering wheel, spreading in a damp, blurred stain. Damien closed his eyes. His personal assets were worth hundreds of millions. Yet when he had brought up divorce, Serafina had never once argued over finances. Driven by an impulse he didn't fully understand, Damien dialed it.
Dear listener, what's weighing on your heart? Why don't you share it with us? Let's see if we can help.
The host's voice had resumed its warm, melodic cadence, naturally inviting confidences. Damien drew a deep breath. His mind replayed the scattered fragments of the past, and slowly he began to speak.
Oh? It wasn't every day a man called in and admitted that outright.
Yes, you heard correctly. My situation is similar to the last caller's, except I'm the one she described, the irresponsible one. My wife loved me very deeply. But because of circumstances I can't fully explain, I was forced to seek a divorce in order to protect her. The consequence is that I've lost her completely.
Agony lanced through Damien's chest. Damien shook his head, the pain intensifying.
Damien, can I stay here tonight? I'm scared to be alone.
Damien suppressed his visceral disgust and replied with absolute finality. Desperate, Evangeline snatched up his phone and entered the old passcode. It unlocked. Evangeline had unintentionally opened the voice message the radio station had sent. From the speaker, a familiar voice filled the room. Hearing it, Damien froze entirely. Evangeline, terrified, flung the phone onto the sofa, her face draining to a ghastly, bloodless gray. How is this possible? Serafina should be long dead, utterly, completely gone. So whose voice was this? The recording continued. Not all love is without pride. When enough disappointment accumulates, people leave. That's an unchangeable truth. The psychological torment you're enduring now, you've earned every bit of it. The message was short, just a few dozen seconds, but Damien had already recognized it. That voice belonged to Serafina.
Damien, is Serafina not dead?
Ignoring Evangeline entirely, Damien called the radio station and demanded the contact information of whoever had sent the message. Staring at a number with an overseas code, his brow furrowed deeply. Without hesitation, he dialed. It rang for a long while before a woman's voice answered. Damien's heart gave a violent jolt. He was too desperate, too frantic for answers. That voice just now, it wasn't this. The woman let out a laugh, then said breezily, with those words, Evangeline visibly exhaled in relief. Damien's face contorted, the brief flaring spark of hope snuffed out as quickly as it had ignited. Ultimately, Evangeline was thrown out. She stood outside, stamping her feet, resentment blazing in her eyes. On the island, Lennox deleted the recent call log. He uninstalled the newly downloaded voice changer app. Then he sat down, the picture of nonchalance, and stared out the window. That had been too close, so he cut off the island signal. When he returned, Serafina was sitting there counting on her fingers as if nothing had happened. Lennox drew a deep breath and sauntered over with cheerful strides. Serafina tilted her head, her expression utterly innocent. But when she looked up, she saw Lennox's face drain visibly pale, his expression snapping into tense severity. Lennox, don't I have any family? If I do, why aren't they looking for me? Boom! Stars exploded in Lennox's vision. Why were her questions growing sharper and sharper? How was he supposed to keep spinning this web of lies?
No, you have no one. You only have me. And from now on, only me. Is that okay?
Love is selfish. Deep in his heart, a hollow, gnawing dread lurked a constant fear that this beautiful dream would one day shatter without warning. Okay. No one compares to you, Lennox. I love this place. And I love you. Sarah, when the day comes that you learn the truth, will you still say the same words? He didn't know. All he knew was that in this moment, he was happy. Harbinger and Associates. Damien rubbed his throbbing temples. After days of relentless effort, he had finally begun to untangle some threads and gather concrete evidence. He leaned back in his chair, the recording still echoing in his mind. He was about to pull it up and listen again when his phone rang an unfamiliar number. The caller identified himself as a victim of the fraud case, claiming he wanted to provide additional evidence. He grabbed his jacket and headed out. The meeting spot was a small ice cream parlor. The man waiting for him was around 50, with an honest, almost rustic demeanor, likely a small business owner.
Hello, I'm Damien Hawthorne. Thank you for waiting.
Mr. Hawthorne, do you think this case can really be won?
You have to trust me and trust yourself. If we do that, we can win this.
Yes. Take your time. I have plenty of it.
Until 2 minutes later, when a wave of dizziness crashed over him, one surge stronger than the last. Only then did he realize something was terribly wrong. The drink had been tampered with. And only now did he notice the entire ice cream parlor was completely empty. This was clearly a premeditated setup. Damien forced his eyes wide, refusing to let the man see his changing state. He bit down fiercely on his tongue, trying desperately to stay alert. It was useless. When Damien came to, it was the relentless churning nausea and the pungent stench of fish that jolted him awake. The bloody, briny odor made him want to vomit. The space he was in was unbearably cramped, no more than 5 square meters. In the corner, a rotting, foul-smelling fishing net was heaped. He had been drugged, abducted. Where were they taking him? But he knew waiting passively was a death sentence.
What do we do with him? The higher-up said that if this thing gets stirred up again, we're all going to prison.
Damien realized the danger instantly. The boat was moving at a considerable speed. and in every direction there was nothing but empty, endless sea.
You're part of a criminal enterprise, but legally speaking, you're not the masterminds.
Lennox, what's wrong? Damien finally allowed himself to relax. He had survived.
I'm fine. Just swallowed a watermelon seed the wrong way. Choked a bit. Don't worry.
Lennox, look how worried Sarah is about you. She nearly started crying.
Exactly. You should have seen how fast she came over. We're all so envious of you two. To be young again.
It was true she had been genuinely panicked. Lennox's place in her heart was unlike anyone else's. If he wasn't by her side, she didn't know what she would do.
That man old Calder brought up from the shore, how is he? Has he woken up yet?
He's awake. I'm just going to get him something to eat. He's still very weak, needs to build his strength back up.
This might be an eligible bachelor, a diamond in the rough. You'd better not let this chance slip.
This island is peaceful, sure, but it's way too isolated. There are only so many people here. Finding someone suitable is rare. If there's a chance, seize it. Don't be all shy and tongue-tied, you hear?
His mind was still turning over thoughts of Damien. It had been 2 full days. Damien hadn't tried calling again. He had probably given up by now. Right? Lennox, do you think we should go visit him?
Sure, but now's not the right time. He just woke up. He needs to eat and rest. How about we go together tomorrow morning?
Serafina nodded, her small face immediately brightening. She was already thinking about what fruit to bring. Couldn't show up empty-handed. When afternoon nap time came, Serafina lay down and closed her eyes, but sleep refused to come. Her left eyelid kept twitching uncontrollably. She pressed on it, but it wouldn't stop, as if something was about to happen. In his room, Lennox tossed and turned, equally sleepless. Finally, he gave up and crawled out of bed, pulling out the laptop he kept hidden under the mattress. He opened the Harbinger and Associates official website. What he saw made his blood run cold. Damien Hawthorne. Employment terminated. Return immediately to complete formalities. Evangeline had replaced Damien's position, and Damien had resigned from the firm. The shock hit Lennox like a physical blow. Had he left because the memories were too painful? Then why had Evangeline been installed in his place? Damien and Evangeline had ties. If Damien went to meet her, that would trigger painful memories too, wouldn't it? What the hell was going on?
Sarah, why aren't you napping? What are you doing here?
Lennox, my eyelid won't stop twitching. I don't know what's wrong.
Hold on. Let me take a look. When did this start? Are you feeling unwell anywhere else?
No. I just feel uneasy. My heart's racing.
It's nothing. I'm right here. Go back and rest. This afternoon, I'll take you down to the beach to look around.
Gradually, Serafina calmed. She returned to her room, but just as she was closing the door, she caught sight of an unfamiliar figure, a man on crutches, slowly making his way toward the pavilion. In the distance, Damien struggled forward, step by painful step, heading toward the main gate. The sea wind had been fierce lately, messing with the signal. He'd borrowed a laptop. He needed to send out the materials he had prepared earlier. There was no doubt in his mind. The 2 men who had thrown him into the sea were connected to that organization. And Evangeline Cross had stepped directly into his former position, which meant Evangeline's sharp, predatory fangs were now fully bared. It was highly probable that his recent accident had her fingerprints all over it. Damien compressed the files he had long prepared and attached them to a mass email, sending it to numerous media outlets and investigative journalists. He used an anonymous account. He then thoroughly scrubbed the IP address. Only then did he close the laptop and prepare to head back. He couldn't return openly yet. Before the moment was right, he needed to conserve his strength and build his resources. Tucking the laptop under one arm and gripping his crutch with the other, he moved forward. Out of the corner of his eye, a familiar silhouette flickered in the distance. He dismissed it as a trick of his exhausted mind. Lennox Ashford had vanished without a trace after leaving Harbinger. No one knew where he had gone. Back in his room, Damien lay down and mentally mapped out his next moves. Before he knew it, he had fallen asleep. The next morning, after breakfast, Damien took the laptop and went outside. He wanted to see how the situation had evolved after a full day and night of public exposure. As he had anticipated, the executives of Amber Horizon Investments had already shown up at Harbinger and Associates, and Evangeline Cross had officially taken over the case. But he would make every single one of them pay the full price. Damien released another batch of screenshots. Evangeline Cross was every bit the predator he suspected. She had been caught on video in a compromising, intimate entanglement with a liaison from Amber Horizon. He had just shut the laptop when a familiar voice reached his ears. His entire body locked rigid. In the distance, a woman in a wheelchair was approaching, laughing and chatting with Lennox Ashford. Serafina wasn't dead. She wasn't dead. Lennox had lied to him. He had hidden her away. Seeing her unusual reaction, Lennox followed her gaze. The moment he saw who was standing there, he froze in absolute shock. She curved her eyes into a radiant smile. Once out of earshot, Damien stared at Lennox with raw fury and anguish. Lennox Ashford hit back with equal intensity. A pounding ache filled Damien's skull. Lennox finished and fixed his gaze on Damien. Damien gave a heavy, resolute nod. Even if Lennox hadn't asked, he would have done the same. Lennox hadn't expected that answer. A flicker of surprise crossed his face. Then, thinking of the news he had seen, he frowned.
Amber Horizon. The less you know, the better. Lennox, I know what you've believed all along, that I pushed Serafina to the brink, that I used her. But that was my way of protecting her. Even though, in the end, it still destroyed her. From now on, take care of her, please.
Lennox gave a dismissive wave. With that, Lennox turned and walked away. Though he had a strong suspicion Damien was keeping something from him, it no longer mattered. He didn't care. Lennox sprawled across the bed and answered,
Lennox, big news. Rumor mill says Damien Hawthorne crossed the wrong people at Amber Horizon, messed with their money. They've already taken care of him. You stay wherever you are overseas. Don't come back. Wait for this whole storm to blow over.
Lennox snorted. After breakfast, he went outside and waited on one of the rest benches, hoping to see Serafina one more time. After about half an hour, she emerged in her wheelchair. This time, Lennox wasn't with her. He rose to his feet, pulse quickening. He didn't approach, just stood there quietly, waiting. Serafina spoke with a touch of pride, lifting her chin like a child, presenting an accomplishment. Then, step by step, she began walking toward him. He'd welcome it, long for it, yearn for it, with every fiber of his being. Serafina walked a surprisingly long stretch. Perhaps from excitement, her foot suddenly twisted. She stumbled and pitched sideways. Damien caught her firmly and instantly. Damien drew a deep, greedy breath, fighting the overwhelming urge to crush her against his chest. Instead, he steadied her upright. Damien froze solid. He guided her to sit down on the rest bench before swallowing hard and shaking his head.
No.
Disappointment flickered across Serafina's face. Who was she? Where had she come from? Where was she going? Lennox told her she had fallen into the water by accident. But deep down, she felt it wasn't that simple. A person doesn't just randomly plummet into a river. There had to be a reason, but she didn't dare ask. Lennox was so sensitive about it. Anytime she brought up the past, his entire state shifted. So she kept it all bottled up. Now she had finally met someone Lennox clearly knew, and even he didn't recognize her. The disappointment cut deeper than she expected. Was this really how she'd live the rest of her life? Not terrible, really. It was fine. Damien could tell she was spiraling into tangled thoughts. He forced himself to change the subject. Serafina poked her tongue out sheepishly. She punctuated her words by squishing her cheeks inward with both hands, making her face comically squashed. She had always been thin. After coming here, the hormone-heavy medications required for her recovery had gradually altered her body. To return to her former self, she had to take meticulous care. Damien shook his head helplessly, his expression full of tender concern. Was that true? She wasn't entirely sure. Serafina resumed her walking practice. After the earlier incident, the two of them were noticeably more comfortable with each other. Whenever she wobbled, she would call out. Behind them, Hidden from view, Lennox stood with his fingernails practically carving grooves into the tree bark. He had been there for a while, unnoticed. Ever since Serafina's accident, he had lived every day on a knife's edge, terrified she would remember the past. He couldn't sleep at night. He was exhausted. He didn't want to live like this anymore. Damien helped her back to the bench. Seeing her cheeks flushed, he suggested a treat. Fruit, anything edible, she loved it all. Along the way, Damien's mind drifted to the past. Back then, every summer when he returned from the firm, Serafina would have a large bowl of colorful fruit parfait waiting for him. Thinking of it now, the irony was bitterly, devastatingly sharp. When you have something, you don't treasure it. When you lose it, you're not even given the chance to weep. Evangeline watched the escalating online firestorm, panic clawing at her insides. She was trapped, damned either way. She was scrambling for a middle path when the door to her office was suddenly hammered with violent force.
Leo, please, have a seat. I'm already working on a strategy to salvage the case.
Salvage my ass. You've seen what's exploding all over the internet. Damien Hawthorne isn't dead. He's the one leaking all that information.
Impossible. The sea was so deep.
Whatever else happened, Damien would still stand with her.
If it weren't for your connection to the boss, you'd have been tossed into the river long ago. Damien's location has been traced. The simplest solution now is to eliminate him. Once he's gone, the rest won't be a problem. This job falls to you. No room for negotiation. 3 days. Oh, and one more thing. Serafina Cross isn't dead either. They're together.
Choose Damien Hawthorne's life or her own.
I'll handle Serafina and Damien.
Damien's weakness was Serafina. All she had to do was get Serafina in her grip.
Sarah, come eat, quick.
She could now stand without difficulty, maintain her balance for extended periods, and walk with no trouble. Damien, after you leave this time, when will you come back?
Whenever you want me to. Just call me, and I'll be here. Once I've dealt with that matter, I should have a lot more free time. Sarah, don't be scared. Stay right here and keep eating. I'll handle what's outside.
Serafina, you damned curse. You can't even die properly. Where are you? Get your worthless self out here right now. Your father's here, you going to keep hiding?
Who allowed you to come here? What do you want?
Seeing Damien alive, Tobias instinctively stumbled back 2 steps. Damien advanced, step by step, but the look in her eyes was purely venomous calculation, not a trace of affection remaining. Serafina, hearing it for the first time, felt her head begin to pound with excruciating pain. Serafina asked woodenly, not knowing the people causing chaos. Seeing her claw at her own hair, Damien swept her into his arms. Serafina was bound and suspended from the ship's deck, dangling upside down. Leo Lambert lounged in a chair, grinning. Damien looked up at Serafina, his head shaking in desperate refusal. Damien had only spoken the first sentence when, in the distance, a helicopter appeared on the horizon.
Get them out of here now. It's Hawthorne's backup.
Damien was gagged again and dragged brutally into the control room. Serafina was left suspended where she was completely abandoned, no one paying her any mind.
Open the cabin door. Drop the ladder. I need to get down there and rescue Serafina. Right there, that woman.
But at that moment, 2 more figures emerged on the deck, Tobias Cross and Evangeline Cross.
Serafina Cross, your time is up. Die.
The knife sliced through the ropes above her waist, and she plummeted.
It was always you. All of this is because of you. Without you, we wouldn't have been driven to this godforsaken place. You already jumped once. Just finish it.
Serafina, get behind me.
Enough. Whatever I owed you, I've repaid 1,000 times over. Damien Hawthorne.
Serafina, what I owe you, I repay with my life. I never used you. The one I've always loved was you.
He'd made it. Barely. He'd made it. Damien. The moment Damien spoke those words, declaring he loved her, every old wound, every buried resentment, dissolved into nothing.
Sarah, don't worry. I've already alerted the authorities. They'll have the situation under control soon.
Lennox, Damien's been hurt. He's bleeding so much. He can't wait that long. We have to turn around. We have to go back and save him. Please.
No. Going back is too dangerous. The ship is swarming with armed men. We can't control that situation. Sarah, listen to me. Someone will go back for him. We can't throw away 2 more lives for nothing.
If we're too late, he won't survive. Lennox, please, I'm begging you. Let me go down alone if you have to.
Sarah, you've remembered, haven't you?
Yes. Lennox, I'm awake now. Please, can you turn around? I have to go back for Damien. I can't abandon him. As he had always known, beautiful things were fleeting. Those who were never truly yours would one day leave, no matter what.
Turn us around? We're going back.
Evangeline, you've competed with me since we were children. You're still doing it now. Do you know why you always lose to me? So right now, the most crucial thing was to confirm whether he was still on that ship.
Sarah, let me go. You stay up here. If things go wrong, you fly away immediately. Do you hear me?
Lennox, come back to me. I'll be waiting. Serafina watched him, her heart lodged in her throat. Please let them both make it out alive.
Damien Hawthorne, get out of here now! Serafina's outside waiting for you. She's always loved only you.
The 2 men, beaten and bloodied beyond recognition, were slumped back to back against each other. Damien's abdomen was torn open, multiple fractures riddled his body, and he was barely clinging to consciousness, held upright by sheer, desperate will. Lennox was no better off. Blood streamed from a gash on his head, and their enemies stood around them, fresh and alert, utterly untouched. If this dragged on any longer, neither of them would survive. They would be beaten to death where they knelt. The helicopter was descending, drawing closer. But at maximum speed, the rescue ladder could only accommodate 1 person at a time. The second person would have to wait. Damien bit down hard on his lip, tasting blood, and stared upward.
Lennox, you shouldn't have come down here. If both of us fall, what happens to Serafina? She depends on you now.
Don't waste your breath. I came down here to pull you out.
One thought alone blazed in Lennox's mind now. Get Damien out of here. Give Serafina the resolution she deserved. Nothing else mattered. Nothing else was worth considering. Just as the stalemate reached its breaking point, the distant blare of ship horns echoed across the water. Then sirens. The reinforcements Lennox had called were finally here. For a single fleeting moment, both Damien and Lennox allowed themselves a breath of relief. Then a shot rang out. Damien threw himself in front of Lennox, shoving him aside and crumpled instantly to the ground. A chaotic, violent skirmish erupted, then silence. Leo and his men were subdued and taken into custody. Damien was rushed to the nearest hospital. The bullet had missed his heart by a fraction of a millimeter. He had walked through the valley of death and somehow, impossibly, survived. It would require a long, difficult recovery. Lennox's injuries were comparatively lighter. He was discharged shortly after surgery. Serafina, too, hadn't paused for a moment. She had been tracking the Amber Horizon case with relentless focus. The sheer scale of the fraud, the staggering sums involved, the sheer number of people implicated made it an incredibly difficult case to win. But the power of public outrage was a force beyond reckoning. The case dominated trending topics for an entire week, the collective pressure accelerating the wheels of justice. Harbinger and Associates senior leadership was exposed for protection rackets and bribery. The firm itself was shuttered. Seizing the moment, Serafina opened her own independent law practice. Her reputation soared rapidly. Inside her office, she stood surrounded by a crowd of people. The floor around her was piled with boxes and bags of every size and color gifts of gratitude. These were the people who had been devastated by Amber Horizon. They had entrusted their money to the firm, hoping to grow their savings. Instead, the interest never materialized and their principal was devoured. Among these 50 victims, nearly half were manual laborers who had poured every ounce of sweat and toil into those savings. That money was their lifeblood, their very survival. This war fought without gunfire or smoke had dragged on for over a year, gripping countless hearts and stealing countless nights of sleep. Time and again, insufficient evidence had allowed the case to slip through the cracks, amber horizon wriggling out of reach. But in the end, the long arm of justice could not be evaded. Those who sought to exploit the gaps in the law would ultimately be ensnared by its net and face the full measure of their consequences. Serafina raised her hands, gesturing for quiet. Everyone, please take your gifts back. We were simply upholding justice. This is our profession, our duty, just doing what we're meant to do. Yes, they had been wounded in this battle, none more grievously than Damien Hawthorne. So was it worth it? Both she and Damien knew the answer in their hearts. One of the older men stepped forward.
Miss Cross, to you, this might seem like a small matter. But to us, it's everything. I saved for 10 years, put it all in there. My wife, she nearly divorced me. If that money hadn't been recovered, our family would have been destroyed. You people are true saviors.
That's right. We poured almost every cent we had into that company. If the case had just fizzled out, me and my wife, we wouldn't have survived.
The man couldn't finish. He broke down, wiping at his tears. Each of the 50 victims had a different story, but all were casualties of the same crime. This case had saved countless lives. Lennox arrived and suggested they all share a meal together on the firm's dime. All he asked was that they consider referring future clients. At the restaurant, after the meal, each person quietly paid their own share. Serafina's practice, bolstered by the weight of this landmark case, rose to new prominence, and then, at last, calm. Serafina and Lennox sat outside beneath the night sky, gazing up at the stars. She spoke with quiet wonder. Never imagined we'd be sitting here, looking at the stars like this.
Serafina, stop dwelling on the past. It's over.
In his heart, Serafina would always be the brightest one of all. Lennox, do you know when I've been the happiest? The time we spent together on that island, that was my happiest. Lennox stood abruptly. What did she mean? Was she about to send him away? Lennox, my leg hasn't fully healed yet. My heart hasn't completely cleared its old ghosts. But when are you going to marry me? Lennox stood frozen, utterly still, convinced he had misheard.
Serafina, my girl, yes, I'll marry you.
Serafina Cross, here to gloat? If so, congratulations. Your wish is granted.
Serafina sat across from her, regarding Evangeline with an almost unnerving calm. When had the rift between them as sisters truly begun? Perhaps that time she had accidentally broken the mirror at home. Their father had stormed in and mistakenly blamed Evangeline. She had explained immediately. She had been punished by their father too. Yet Evangeline had nursed that grudge ever since, holding on to the slap she hadn't even received.
Serafina, whether or not I've come to a good end, you can see it with your own eyes, can't you? Here to mock me? Huh. You're no saint yourself. Go live your own life. What are you doing here? Looking to get cursed out?
Think whatever you want, but if you cooperate fully with the investigation and disclose everything you know, for the sake of our mother, I will serve as your defense counsel. Seeing she was truly leaving, Evangeline suddenly called out. She covered her face and broke into violent sobs.
I want to get out of here. I want to get out as soon as possible. I'll tell you everything.
In this season of ripened fruit and fragrant breezes, Serafina Cross and Lennox Ashford held their wedding. Standing in stark, devastating contrast to this scene of joy was a figure hidden in the farthest, darkest corner, a man with a haggard, unshaven face, wearing a hospital gown.
I do.
Together, they lifted their faces to the shower of flower petals cascading from above. Finally, they wrapped each other in a deep, everlasting embrace.